Twitter and everything was ablaze with talking about the format, talking about the track surface. I mean, I'll just rip the Band-Aid off here. What'd you guys think of it? And did you think that the way things were set up, did it penalize the guys that were fast too much?
Yeah, I would say the way that it all shook out, yes. Like ideally with a track that doesn't have 100 degrees on it every single day and 40 some mile an hour winds, that makes it a little bit tougher to keep the track good, especially when you have 4 nights of racing to try to save it and not have everybody race on rubber. As far as like the format goes, the way the track ended up being, yes, it definitely penalizes the fast guys too much, but you got to try something to make it interesting, and it definitely did to an extent. You pretty much saw the same two guys aside from Larson the first night duking it out, and that was just kind of how it went.
I think the biggest point was that Rico Abreu goes quick time twice in 4 days, or doesn't get out of the B main 3 of the 4 nights. And the 2 nights that he went quick time, buried in the B main. You know, track surface is a lot of it. There was just times where the track surface for the heat races just wasn't quite there to allow passing. And on night number 1, a lot of the drivers were very vocal about that. The invert was obviously a big part of it. You can't pass, like you physically can't pass. If you go back to 6th, you're stuck. I mean, unless you get a wreck. I'm curious your guys' thoughts. Maybe keep the format that we saw all week for the hustle, but do we want to maybe change around what we see for the actual big high bank nationals?
I don't think it's going to change from having the 2 and 2, you know, having the hustle and then the high bank nationals. I don't see that changing. You could argue that like a 3-day show would almost be best, where you have 2 prelims and then a finale. I truly don't think that the format is all that bad. The track surface, it just drives everything because it's a short track. It's a tight track. And if you have a fast track, like we saw, especially on Saturday night, it did not matter how fast your car was. You just literally couldn't go too wide. And it is not for a lack of trying from the track prep crew. Hell, we saw Todd Queering out there driving the maintainer around, and they worked their ass off. I would say kudos. We didn't really see hardly any rubber. I think maybe was it like Wednesday or Thursday where it started to take it just a little bit. And we didn't see it the rest of the weekend. When you're just going through a tire race like that, nobody wins with that, and you're going to have a ton of pissed off guys in the pits. You'd probably rather lean to the wet, heavy side than to just be, freaking racing on asphalt out there. And then on top of it, it was 105 plus degrees with 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts and no clouds. To have it even to a point on Saturday night where it was too heavy and they had to run it in some more, I think was actually a feat in and of itself. It sucked that it delayed things, but I think that they were kind of dealt a shitty hand weather-wise and did about the best they could.